Hi, I made a video about burnout maybe 5 or 6 months ago, and it was talking about how I heal after burnout. I said in my last video that I felt like I was out of the darkest times, but definitely still not fully healed. And I'm actually not sure whether that's ever a realistic goal to set yourself. Like many things in life, we have our ideal view on how we want things to go, but realistically, life is always going to have its own little twists and turns in the way that always tells us who really is in charge. And I think I'm of a generation that has had life so easy and has had so many opportunities just kind of there, ready to go work hard and you can grasp and get it. We have to be incredibly thankful for the way the world is, or previously was, to 2020. Especially living in the United Kingdom and living in London. The opportunities are endless. You've got to put the work in, but it does pay off. So I think that's how I want to start this off, is a reminder to myself that I am incredibly fortunate to live in a time and a place that is safe, and really there are opportunities out there, and I've been incredibly fortunate thus far to have some of those opportunities. I've purposefully started this off with a reflection on quite possibly a positive slant on things at the moment, and that's very much to do with how I have pulled myself through the dark times, got myself through those really difficult, trying, hard times that, through COVID and through everybody's natural mental health peaks and troughs, it's been really tough. And I know I have burnt out from work, and it's not necessarily that my job is stressful or particularly tiresome, but that doesn't mean that you are exempt from burnout. For me, I think that just that feeling alone of knowing that I am not the same Ben that I perhaps was last year, or even, being able to plan holidays or going to see my family, spending times with my sister in Wales. I've been fortunate enough to get some of that this year while we've not been in lockdown. But isn't it funny that it's only when we can't have something that's when we appreciate it more? And that is definitely a mindset that this beautiful lockdown has taught me, and I think that's definitely something that I will absolutely take forward, and I am trying to take forward in every day that I live now. And that is to live and love every moment. It's as simple as that. And I think if you can try your hardest to make that more of a permanent fixture in your mind, then it becomes more of a habit. And I think when you can make something a habit, it is a lot easier. But I also don't want this feeling to become autopilot for me. I want to consciously remember and remind myself of the fact that when things aren't available, you miss them the most. So actually, go out and get what you can. For me, I used to be quite embarrassed. I was going to say ashamed, but ashamed is definitely not the right word. I used to be quite embarrassed about my love for nature. And I think it's only perhaps in the last 3 years that I've really gone back to my roots, in that I know that I am happiest when I'm wandering through fields and meandering through forests. I think for me, when I can actually use my senses to absorb the nature around me, that is when I am most at peace and the happiest. I've been watching a few different YouTube videos lately. I'll link in the description below the ones that I particularly enjoy the most. And I find myself often watching these people going off to explore the great outdoors, And it's often in places like Sweden or Norway, where there are just vast areas of beautiful, uninterrupted countryside. And the nature is so abundant. Yet today, when I was out on my walk, all I had to do was really pay attention to the smallest bits of detail on my walk, like the birds that I could hear and the people that I could not see. It was at those moments that I realised that with just using a little bit more time and patience and energy to pay attention to what's around you, that's when you can turn your own environment into your own little paradise. It must have been around 5 months ago now when I released that video on healing burnout. And the things that I was talking about there that I do to help myself heal from burnout, I definitely am still doing and paying attention to. I am incredibly lucky that I get to live so close to nature and in a beautiful apartment like this. And I live on my own. When I work from home, it's just me. When I go to work and come home, I don't have to worry about anything else. I am incredibly thankful for that luxury. I have not been always this lucky. I've not been always in the position that I've either been able to afford this or had it for myself. And I don't know whether that makes this even more special now, or whether I am older so I appreciate it more. I have no idea. I just know that right now I am incredibly lucky and thankful for the space that I've got. For me, when I'm going through really tough times, it takes a lot of energy to get up and go and do stuff. I just know that on the days that I'm feeling really, really low and without any energy, I know the thing that is going to help me the most is to get outdoors, absorb some sunlight, take in the natural beauty around me. But when I'm in the moment, sat on that sofa or lying in bed, and I don't want to do it, it's really difficult. I wake up in the morning and go, right, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to get out. I'm going to get outdoors. I'm going to get some exercise. As soon as I get out of bed, that's when my mind starts thinking, maybe you shouldn't do that today. Maybe you should take it easy. Maybe you should have a day indoors. Just relax. You deserve it. My natural instinct is to get up and go. But as soon as my mind takes over, that's when I don't follow through with that plan. And that's something that I have come to notice all too often lately, especially when I'm working from home and I've got a bit more time to myself. The more time that you have to yourself, the stronger the voice in your mind gets. The narrative within your body tells you an awful lot. The way I talk to myself isn't always the most positive, and instead of listening to that narrative inside myself, I have to go by my gut instinct and know that there is evidence that tells me that going out for a walk before I start studying is really going to help me. So that's the stuff that I need to keep in my mind to stop me from sinking down that spiral. And I'm sure that other people watching this can relate, sadly, in the way that it's just how we're built. I also know that I am an introvert, and I know that being around people burns me out. It wears down my batteries, and in order to recharge and to gain strength, I need to spend time on my own. It's taken me a very long time to realise that that's not a bad thing, and all that tells me is that I know that I'm in touch with how I'm really feeling, and that's okay because I'm in charge of my life, and that I'm not trying to shy away from social situations because of a lack of confidence. Yes, I naturally don't have a lot of confidence, and I am quite a quiet, timid, shy person. There are circumstances and situations in which I gain confidence and I ooze energy to help other people. And I know that those situations are out there, like work, for example, when I go in and I am the lead for the team. I would not have believed that I was capable of that no more than 10 years ago. But that really is something that I've come to realise even more so in the last 6 months more than ever that I know myself and that I shouldn't be doing things for other people. I should do it for me.